Loss is probably one of the hardest things that we can face, specifically for us traders. It really does test your character. You have to make a choice. Are you gonna let the emotions take over? Are you gonna let them dictate what you do for the rest of the week, for the day? Or are you actually going to just keep pushing forward? When you're going through something difficult, whether it's your actual like trading execution or it's just your journey, learning journey, whatever it may be, when you're going through something rough, it really is not about how you feel, but it's about how you're able to pick yourself up from that. Instead of just shutting down and letting the emotions take over, even though you're gonna feel the emotions, because we are human, right? So as much as we like to say that we are emotionless or we're like robots, we're still gonna feel those emotions. No matter how much you work on them, they're still gonna be there. But what I found is that the way I've been working on myself and on my emotions throughout past years of my life have really helped me, because I know the best way to overcome it is just to keep going. I talk about this a lot. You have people that are counting on you to do the right thing, to keep going. Maybe that's why you're doing what you're doing, getting into this industry, or you've been in it for a while, because you have your reason why. That why is what's driving you. That's what's helping you push forward in the dark times, in the good times. The key thing is your reaction and how you're able to pick yourself up is more important than your feelings. Throughout my years of trading, it's actually helped me to realize that, because I've had hard times before as well, really just mentally challenging times. And I'm sure that's something a lot of people can relate to when they're coming up as a trader. And when you're trying to get to a certain stage, basically you're going to hit certain times where everything just seems hopeless, where suddenly that reason why is kind of blurred because you're so overwhelmed just by that feeling. I think that whole situation that you're going through right there is there for a purpose. Pain serves a purpose. These situations that happen, these things that will happen to you, they help build you up, right? Because the next time something like that happens, although you're going to feel it, the feelings are still going to be there, you're going to know better how to deal with them. And it's relevant for whatever work you do, whatever you have to do. It doesn't really matter what happens. You have to just be able to acknowledge it, take a moment to feel it, and then once that's done, what's next? Just knowing that you have people that care about you, and they, regardless of where you are, what you're doing in life, they would want you to keep going. Whatever they're doing, might not see the vision, they might not see what your goals are, but still, deep down, to get to that level, to get to where you want to be, you simply can't stop. Whether it's just a rough period that you're going through, maybe you're learning and you just can't seem to make it work. You just can't seem to figure it out, right? It might not be for any reason that has to do with you. It's more so you're just at a very early stage. You just haven't put in enough time yet. You have to be able to pick yourself up from that place. I have a lot of people that are counting on me, and I have a lot of responsibilities for people out there, for you guys, for everyone. And I know for a fact that life doesn't just go on pause because you have experienced something or you're feeling a certain way. That's why I always try and advocate that your emotions, they shouldn't dictate what you do, because what you do should be determined by logic, and it should be the objectively right thing to do. Even though it might seem hard, even though you might be going through a rough patch, whatever that's happened in your life, when that happens, learning how to deal with it and learning to acknowledge the feelings that you have and kind of just be like, okay, I see them, I know they are there. Am I going to let that control me? Am I going to let that potentially have an effect over other people? When you have responsibilities, people are counting on you to show up every day, because in those moments you can't be carrying that. I'm not saying you should keep it inside, locked away. I'm saying there's a time and place for everything. When something happens, when you're going through something rough, instead of just letting it sit in the back of your mind, you have to actually reflect, whether that's your journal, sitting in silence, you have to reflect over what you're going through. Think about the cause, think about how you're feeling because of it, and think about what you got to do next. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in a loop, and that loop is just going to be your emotions controlling your actions. And this is very dangerous for what we do, and in life in general, for your goals, for your purpose. You can't let those emotions take control. No matter how bad it gets, always think logically. And the way to do that is that you might have to sit out for a moment and just think about what happened, just really feel it and reflect over that. Think about how you can move past whatever you're going through. Think about the solution. Maybe take a few minutes, a few hours, and kind of just feel it, because we're all human. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. We're not supposed to be emotionless in the way of feeling no emotions. Instead, we're supposed to be emotionless in terms of not acting on those emotions. But in order to do that, you have to first acknowledge them. You have to sit there and you have to think about what you're feeling and really just face it like head on. No matter how painful it might be, no matter how it makes you feel, take it in for a moment, because otherwise it's just going to be in the back of your mind. It's going to affect everything that you do, how you perform, whether that's performing on the markets, at your job, whatever. It's going to affect your life. So instead of trying to keep all this inside for everything in life, whether that's with trading or life in general, planning out how you're going to get out of the situation and then executing on that. The worst thing that you can do is to sit there and feel sorry for yourself. I don't care what happened. That's not going to solve anything. You have the right to be sad. You have the right to feel because of something that happened, whether you're not performing as you should, whether you're going through a rough time in your life, whether you're in a period where everything just feels kind of unsure or you're doubting yourself. When these things happen, there's no room to feel sorry for yourself. Just remember why you started, why you're putting yourself through what you're going through right now, or why you're enduring something that's been put on you unwillingly. As long as your reason why is bigger than your reason to quit, then there's no other choice. Just keep showing up every single day, no matter how hard it gets, no matter what you're being put through, no matter how you're tested in life. It doesn't matter, because what matters is how you get through it. I want you guys to realize that sometimes in life, you're going to be at a point where you're going through that dark tunnel, right? And you can't see the end. And in that moment, when you're going through it, it might seem endless. It might seem like there is no end to that tunnel and there's going to be no way out. And I know for a fact, when it comes to trading, when it comes to being in that hard time with the uncertainty in that moment, the only thing you can do is just to keep going. What really just helped me get into a better state of mind and to be able to get out to the other side, to just keep pushing forward. Doesn't matter what happens to you, doesn't matter what you're going through. If you stop, you're going to be stuck inside of the tunnel. This applies to everything. Now imagine if you just kept going for a little bit longer. When you think that all hope is lost, you can't seem to make it work, or your emotions are simply too much for you to handle. When you're thinking this, just try imagining, what if I just kept going a little bit more? What if I just start seeing suddenly the tunnel starting to get a little bit brighter? You start seeing it, you feel it. Everything is starting to brighten up a little bit. And why is it starting to brighten up? Because you just keep going. You're getting closer and closer and closer to the other side. Now imagine you apply that to your goals, to your trading. Just think about getting to the other side, how you'll feel, how much better you'll feel knowing that you didn't let your emotions stop you. No matter how bad it got, knowing that you just kept going, that confidence you get is going to help you the next time you find yourself in that same tunnel, because it's going to happen multiple times. If you get comfortable just pushing through it, before you know it, you're going to be on the other side. And that's what I found has helped me the most. In all the dark times, all the things that I've gone through in my life, they helped me prepare. When I was going through that period of really struggling and having doubts, insecurities, everything, when I'm in that spot, I look back and I remember those similar feelings. They all helped carry me forward because I just kept going. I didn't stop. There was no other option, because there isn't. There is no other option for you other than to just keep pushing forward. I don't care if you feel sorry for yourself, if you feel depressed. Those feelings, you can have them. But should you let that control what you do? Absolutely not. That's the worst thing you can do. Just keep on going, right? No matter how hard it gets, you have to keep going. Because if you stop, you're going to be stuck in that place. And that is what I want you to take away from this video, if anything at all, is that no matter what you're going through in life, if you just keep going, eventually you're going to get to the other side and you're going to look back and think, you know what, I made it through. And that's what matters.